All right, so we are at the WWE Performance Center once again. This time with Shayna Baszler. Baszler. Sorry, Shayna Baszler.
That's okay. It's been mispronounced worse.
Okay.
I actually don't even usually correct people when they say Baszler because it's been so worse that Baszler is acceptable to me.
How worse?
Like just this past weekend, the hotel had me as Basker. I was like, I am not a part of Keith Lee's entourage. But yeah.
All right. So, I mean, what a difference a year makes. When I last spoke with you, we were sitting for the video game, and you were just talking about the goals that NXT has for itself. And here we are, still, you're still dominating the women's division within NXT. Now you find yourself on USA Network for 2 hours. I mean, just what is that like for you to kind of have that?
Well, it's funny because at first it's crazy, but NXT and the Performance Center has always been a place. The purpose of this place was to prepare us for TV. And so I think when the day happened and it was like we're on TV, we all figured out we are a lot more ready for this than we thought we were. And it was a very smooth transition. And it's just it's inevitable that this happened. I remember a year ago them having a meeting and they were like, yeah, so the goal one day in the future is to get this on TV. And I remember thinking like, man, that's probably going to happen. I'm not even going to be here anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm just lucky it happened and I'm here and I'm at the top and everyone gets to see it.
What's the feeling backstage when it comes to preparing for a show and just knowing that it's going to be a weekly live show? How do you kind of mentally prepare for that? Does it change the way you mentally prepare?
There is a sort of energy right now because we know we need to deliver, but that has always been. I've said the same thing to pretty much everyone that it's not as though we were holding back before. It wasn't like, one day we'll get on TV and then we can really have good shows. Like, we've been doing this. If you're just tuning in now on USA and seeing this and being like, wow, go back on the network and look at some of the old stuff. We've been doing this since the beginning. So we literally, and not to like diminish the importance or how cool or how energetic and excited everybody is, this is literally what we've been doing from day one. So it is another day for us. We know how to do this. And this is not like new and I mean, this is, it's just people are going to see it. So we're really excited that it's going to be so broad now that people are going to see that this is what we've always done.
And you've had such an incredible run with NXT. There's a lot of trust put in you in this position. Just how do you kind of take that responsibility and the role, and just how do you kind of view that? I mean, you've been holding the title for so long. You've had an incredible run with beating pretty much almost everyone in the NXT roster at this point. So just kind of talk about that, just the trust that the company has in you.
I think that it's NXT has always placed such a huge emphasis on the women's division to begin with, and the legacy that the women's title has. And just to be able to be a part of that, and not just once, but a part of that twice, is a huge honor. And that's not something I take lightly. And so I think, if anything, just being thrust into the position that I've been in has you either are going to thrive or die, and I think it's forced me to have to thrive. And I think that's part of the reason why I've learned so much, is that I've had to, or else, So yeah, exactly, and it's been great.
And then you've had your friends with you as well. You have even roommates in the locker room, right? So what is it kind of like to have that support system at home in addition to being here?
Yeah, I mean, Jess and Marina being here, and we trained together. We lived together in LA and went to each other's fights and cornered each other. This is like stuff we've always done. It's nice to go home and everybody has to be eating clean. And everybody understands, okay, how supportive to be when someone's preparing for like a big match or something. We know the routine, and that's obviously very helpful. But I think on top of that, like, who doesn't want to go to work with their friends every day? It's pretty cool.
And, of course, the final piece of the puzzle there is Ronda, who's kind of stepped away from WWE. Did you kind of see her coming back? And is that something that you kind of want to see with the Four Horsemen, kind of having one match at least?
Well, I mean, we've been ever since the four of us have been together, we've been together. We're a team through and through. We trained MMA as a team. We stuck by each other through wins and losses, through highs and heartbreaks. And I think Rhonda's wanting to start a family right now. I think that wrestling is the best thing on earth, and I don't think anyone really ever leaves. But I think that no matter what victories the four of us have or where they're at, we're going to celebrate them together. If it happens to be in the ring together, that's another celebration we'll have. But it's whatever we're doing, we're fully supportive of each other.
And lastly, just you've done so much within NXT. You've accomplished so much, far more than a lot of people. Just how do you kind of keep yourself motivated and challenged? And then also, as it comes to, do you kind of want to reach a point where you want to challenge yourself on a Raw or a SmackDown, or you kind of, now that NXT's kind of reached this point, you kind of want to stay and kind of see this through?
I used to get kind of the similar question when I was moving from the UFC to WWE, where the first thing is it doesn't matter the letters behind the bodies. It really just matters that everyone's got the same body. They bend the same ways and break the other ways. So that so much doesn't matter to me. I know that what I want to do is uphold the legacy of this title, and I want to uphold the legacy of my martial background. And as long as I stay true to those things, it doesn't matter where it's at. I just that's most important. Everything else will take care of itself.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on all your success. I appreciate it. It was good catching up with you.